I'm a 27-year-old woman who thought she had it all figured out when it came to love and relationships. For 2 years, I was in what I believed to be a dream relationship with Eric, a 29-year-old man who seemed like everything I could ever want. He was charming, attentive, and always talked about our future together. From the very beginning, it felt like we were building something solid. Eric wasn't just a boyfriend, he made me feel like we were a team. He constantly brought up plans for our future, getting married, buying a house, starting a family. His enthusiasm made it easy to trust him. 6 months ago, we decided to take a big step. I moved into his apartment. He insisted it made financial sense and symbolized how committed we were to each other. I agreed, thinking it was the natural progression of our relationship. Living together started off great. We split the bills for rent and groceries evenly, but Eric handled the larger savings account we were building for our future home. I didn't question it at the time. He had always seemed responsible with money. I thought we were planning for a life together, so it only made sense to let him take charge. He even introduced me to his family early on in the relationship, and they were incredibly welcoming. His mom was especially sweet, always talking about how she hoped I'd be part of the family one day. Looking back, it felt like I had their approval, and that only deepened my trust in him. But over the last few months, things began to shift. Eric started pulling away. Date nights became rare, and he seemed distracted even when we spent time together. When I tried to talk about the future, he'd brush it off or change the subject. I told myself he might be stressed about work or something he didn't feel ready to share. Then came the fight. It wasn't even over anything serious, just a misplaced laundry basket. Eric exploded, snapping at me in a way that felt completely out of character. I was stunned. He stormed out of the apartment and didn't come back for hours. After that, things only got worse. For the next few weeks, Eric was distant, cold, and avoidant. He'd barely talk to me, and when he did, it was short and dismissive. I felt like I was living with a stranger. I kept wondering what I had done wrong, but every attempt to get him to open up was met with silence. Then, one night, everything fell apart. Eric came home and told me, out of nowhere, that he was ending our relationship. He didn't give me a real reason, just some vague line about needing space. I was blindsided. This was the man who had spent 2 years talking about forever with me. Now he was throwing it all away without so much as an explanation. I begged him to tell me what had happened, to at least give me some clarity. He refused, saying it wasn't about me and that he had made up his mind. What made it worse was how cold he was, like he'd already moved on in his head. He then dropped another bomb. I had a week to move out of his apartment. I had nowhere to go, no backup plan, and no family nearby to help. I felt completely unmoored. The next morning, I woke up to find that Eric had packed his things and left. No note, no goodbye, just an empty closet and silence. I was left scrambling to figure out where to live, all while trying to process the heartbreak. A few days later, I learned the truth from a mutual friend. Eric had been seeing someone else, his coworker, Stephanie, for months. Apparently, their relationship had been going on long before he started acting distant. But that wasn't all. When I tried to access the shared savings account Eric had managed, I discovered it had been emptied. Everything we had set aside for our future was gone. He hadn't just betrayed me emotionally, he had financially wiped me out too. I didn't know how to begin piecing my life back together. Losing Eric hurt, but the betrayal stung even more. I had trusted him with everything, my heart, my home, and my finances, and he had left me with nothing. But one thing was clear, I wasn't going to let him walk away from this unscathed. I decided to fight back, to take control of my life again. If Eric thought he could betray me and move on without consequences, he was about to learn he was very, very wrong. Update 1. When Eric vanished, I was left